Dress code. Professional image reflects professional responsibility. As we move toward the final sections of this course, we begin with something that may seem simple but carries real impact: professional appearance. Dress code is not about fashion, it is about perception, trust, and credibility. This section ties directly into customer care, professional conduct, and the expectations placed on licensees under AAC R428-1101. Clients often form their first impression of an agent within seconds. A professional appearance communicates competence, reliability, and respect for the transaction. While Arizona does not have a statutory dress code, brokers are responsible for setting standards within their policy manuals. Example: an agent shows up to a listing appointment in overly casual attire, creating doubt in the seller's mind about the agent's professionalism. Even if the agent is highly skilled, the perception may impact the client's confidence and decision. In 2026, many brokerages adopt flexible but professional standards, emphasizing appropriateness for the situation while maintaining a consistent brand image. Earnest money. The first financial step in a transaction. Now we move into one of the most critical financial components of a real estate transaction: earnest money. This is where trust account management begins and where many compliance issues arise. Earnest money represents the buyer's good faith and is typically submitted at the time of contract execution. While it may seem straightforward, mishandling earnest money is one of the fastest ways to trigger an ad-re complaint or disciplinary action. Under Arizona law, brokers must ensure that earnest money is handled properly, documented accurately, and deposited in accordance with statutory requirements. Example: an agent holds onto an earnest money check for several days instead of submitting it promptly to escrow. This delay may create compliance issues and potential liability if the transaction is challenged. Earnest money is not just a deposit. It is a regulated fund that must be handled with precision. ARS, paragraph 32-2151, Disposition of Funds and Trust Account Requirements, ARS, paragraph 32-2151 establishes the rules for handling client funds, including earnest money. This statute requires that all client funds be handled through a trust account, or escrow. Funds be deposited promptly. Brokers maintain strict control over the handling of these funds. This statute is one of the most heavily enforced areas of real estate law in Arizona. Violations involving trust funds often result in serious disciplinary action, including license suspension or revocation. Example: a broker deposits earnest money into a general operating account instead of a trust account. This is a direct violation and creates significant legal exposure. The key principle is segregation. Client funds must always be kept separate from brokerage funds. ARS, paragraph 32-2151.01, Broker Requirements and Record Keeping. Closely tied to trust account handling is ARS, paragraph 32-2151.01, which outlines broker record keeping requirements. This statute requires brokers to maintain complete and accurate records of all transactions, including the handling of earnest money. This includes receipts and disbursement records, transaction files, trust account records, documentation of all funds received and distributed. Example: a broker cannot produce documentation showing when earnest money was received or deposited. During an audit, this lack of documentation may result in violations and penalties. In 2026, brokers are expected to use transaction management systems and accounting software to maintain accurate and accessible records. How earnest money connects to supervision and risk management. Earnest money is where financial compliance, supervision, and documentation all intersect. It ties directly back to AAC R428-1103, requiring brokers to review and manage transactions and ensure proper handling of funds. This is also an area where small mistakes can have large consequences. A delayed deposit, missing documentation, or improper handling of funds can quickly escalate into a complaint or investigation. Example: an agent forgets to deliver earnest money to escrow within the required time frame. The transaction falls apart, and the buyer claims mishandling of funds. This situation may lead to both civil and regulatory consequences. Brokers must establish clear policies, training, and oversight to ensure that every transaction involving earnest money is handled correctly. Section Review: Bringing Professionalism and Financial Compliance Together. This section highlights the connection between professionalism and financial responsibility. From appearance to trust account handling, every detail matters in maintaining compliance and protecting the brokerage. We now see how everything connects. Professional standards shape client perception. Earnest money handling reflects financial responsibility. Trust account laws ensure proper management of funds. Record keeping provides accountability and protection. Broker supervision ensures consistency and compliance. When these systems are in place, transactions run smoothly. When they are not, risk increases significantly. As we move into the final wrap-up of this course, we will bring all sections together, reinforcing how broker policies, supervision, and compliance create a strong and successful real estate operation. Online discussion. Why is earnest money considered a high-risk area for brokers? Answer: because it involves handling client funds, which are strictly regulated under Arizona law, and even small errors can lead to serious violations. How does ARS Paragraph 32-2151 protect consumers in real estate transactions? Answer: it requires proper handling, segregation, and deposit of client funds, ensuring that money is protected and accounted for. Why is record-keeping critical in trust account management? Answer: because it provides documentation and proof of compliance, especially during audits or disputes.